Happy Wealth Wednesday, Andresa. So excited to have you here. The work that you are doing with Real Estate Investor is so inspirational and extremely practical. I think it's incredible the community you've been building. And I know you guys have also come to speak to the EVE community about some amazing opportunities and real life applications and investments you guys have been working on. So excited. I'd love if you could just share a bit about who you are and what you're up to.
We don't have investors in our family, so the goal was just to get a job in a corporate environment and go from there. So the possibility of owning not just one house but multiple properties was just a very, very far thought process that I couldn't comprehend. And that was about 12 years ago. And since then, I've been involved into new construction, building multiple projects at the same time. Recently, we closed on a 607 unit apartment complexes. And then Liz and I, my business partner, a couple of years ago, we started meeting each other on a monthly basis to support each other businesses. And we asked the question, where do women go to get the support? Because it's not possible to build a business, a legit business, like on our own, just trying to figure out everything by ourselves. That was very daunting. And we only found communities that were very knowledge-based, real estate strategies, and that was it. And we wanted something more business oriented and also that had self-care attached to it, because we believe in a holistic approach, and we couldn't find anything. So we created the Real Estate Investor community. Our mission, our vision for all the women around the world is to create a community where we support women to live a financially free and balanced life. And the way that we do that is what we call an intimate global community, where women can come, raise their hand, get the support they need to move the needle forward. That's the most important thing. And create life on their own terms, Alana. We believe in that there's no such a thing as balance 50-50, right? Balance means something different to every single person.
So I'm curious what your first ever investment was. What got you started?
Well, it was a tiny house in South Philadelphia. It was a primary. My ex-husband at that time and I bought this house, a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and we renovated the entire place, overpaid for it. Don't even talk about the construction piece. I didn't know what I know now then. But the good thing, something good happened with that property. We knew the neighborhood, we did our due diligence. And once we got the final evaluation, because we were going to do a HELOC. HELOC is when you pull your equity out. The appraisal value came lower. And I was like, something is wrong with that. So I requested a quick report from the bank, and I found a ton of mistakes. And I created my own report and then sent it back to the appraisal and to the lender. And from there, they raised my value to 25,000. Total, I was able to pull out $68,000 out of that. And one thing that I learned is that we don't have to accept the appraisals that we get. There's so many mistakes. They go to several houses, and are human beings, right? Make mistakes here and there. And if you really know what you're doing, you can do it. But I thought at that time, well, everybody does it. And it was not such a common thing. And since then, I have appealed different appraisals, and I've got a total of 300,000 extra that if I haven't just kept quiet and open up my mouth and sharing what I have found, that would be gone. So that makes a difference. So that was my first deal.
And so I'm curious, it kind of leads into this question of how and why did you get into your space now?
Financial freedom. I was in a marriage, in a toxic relationship. And it took a long time for me to get out of it because everything was combined. all the finances, all the properties, all the assets that we have was combined. I couldn't find a way out of it because I was not individually independent financially. It was all tied up. And there was consequences. So I had to really create that for myself. And I'm really passionate about sharing with other women that how important it is for women to be financially independent. So if they are in a situation where it's not healthy for them, for their children, or whatever situation it is, they can make a choice and they are not obligated to stay in a relationship that doesn't fit them. So for me, financial freedom is more than just zeros in the bank. It's sometimes a life in that situation. It's sometimes happiness and living life to the fullest. So I want to support other women to do that for themselves. That's the bottom line for me.
Can you share more about that role that you're now playing in the wealth space to do what you're saying?
And there is a limitation. Many women are limited by their experience that they have, or the funding that they have, the time that they have. So what we are presenting to women right now is a different way of being, that they accept what they can bring to the table. They know who they are and what they bring to the table, but they're also smart to leverage that and just connect with other women that will fulfill those gaps, so they can move forward, so they can scale. I am telling you, like mobile homes, for example, I don't know much about mobile homes, but I for sure know who does. And if I want to get into mobile home space, I know a couple of women that I can align myself with, and I know what I bring to the table, and they know what they bring to the table. And here we go. We're eating this pizza pie together. So there's a shift of mindset into building a business. Real estate investment is a business. There's no such a thing as hobby or doing things in your way. I believe in processes. I believe in systems. There's no way we can scale without having process and systems in place. And building a team. I want to fire myself for every single position that I am in. I'm about to fire myself for my current position. I'm very excited about it. So this is what we are providing to women, this support, a community where they can come and say, okay, how did you do that? Oh, but you have 2 kids, but, well, let's create what works. Let's brainstorm and find a way that works for you.
I love that. What do you think is the most exciting thing you've learned now in this process that you would want other people to know?
I'm all about becoming the best version that I can be. And I don't want to be the smartest person in the room whatsoever. I'm in the wrong place, right? Liz and I have built a business, and sometimes there are breakdowns. We are about to get into a different level of business overall. We're putting together a conference for 500 women. The numbers are crazy, and all the logistics that goes behind it. We closed on a 670 unit apartment. As I shared with you, I started with one single family. So we evolved. Our essence is still the same. Our core values is still the same, but we evolved and will continue evolving. I'm gonna continue probably 1 year for now. I'm excited to see who I'm going to become there, or at least I would say, like, we're peeling the layers, right, to be who I am. So my compass, I'm like, does it feel good to me? Right now, I don't get involved into projects that are not aligned with my value. I respect my time much more, right? It's about like the time, and then like the profit and all the other stuff that comes with it. You know, when Facebook shows you like, oh, 5 years ago, this is what you wrote. 5 years ago, about a neighbor that was complaining about my construction project, And I went to a rampage. I was like, who is that person that I cannot even recognize? And I posted on our community and saying, I cannot even recognize that person. So one person came on and said, listen, that's actually great, because you evolve so much that you're like, who was that? And so 5 years from now, I'm gonna look back and say, oh my gosh, who was that person? Oh
Absolutely.
my God.
Constantly leveling up in such a beautiful, organic way. So, is there a person or a company that's inspiring you in the space right now that you're looking up to? You know, if you think of that next evolution.
We have a couple of women in mind, you know. Ariana, we have Stanks is one of them that we're looking to. Sarah is so inspiring, and what is her name? I forgot, the CEO of Bumble too. She just uh, went public holding a baby on her arms. So those women are really rocking. And despite what other people say, but always an inspiration. And my gratitude is for Ruth Bader Ginsburg for the work that she has done in the past.
Is there any advice you would give, or what advice would you give to somebody getting started?
Sure. I always say that it's very like lonely when we have to think about ourselves. Oh, my time, my experience, my funding, and we have this desire of, oh, I'm going to consume all the books, all the podcasts, and I have this bunch of knowledge, right? And that leads to like this analysis paralysis. But then you have content. Content is not equal action, does not change a behavior. So two things that I would say: surround yourself with other people that have done what you're looking to do. Reach out, and ask them, what do you need? Because you might be able to fulfill their gap, and in exchange you get a lot of experience. And focus on the small actions, right? Sometimes we get it frustrated because, oh, I want to become an investor, but it's been 6 months and I haven't bought a property. That is too much, right? I wanted to micro actions that are going to move the needle forward. It is connecting with a realtor, or connecting with a lender, or connecting with an investor, and shadowing a construction site. Whatever that action is, you create momentum. So focus on the micro actions if you are, but surrounding yourself, right? You're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So sometimes we love our family and friends, right? But they bring our average down when it comes down to real estate. So you can still have great time with them, but for the real estate piece, figure it out who has done it, who is walking the walk. I'm not saying talk, walking the walk, so you can really link arms and bypass it. Have that like, I'm bypassing it. I don't need to like work hard, quote unquote hard, for 10 years in order to earn the right to be a successful real estate investor. You can learn from all the mistakes that we made. You don't need to make the same.
How can we keep in touch with you and what you're building, and what can we look forward to? Anything to keep on our radar?
Absolutely. The easiest way to find more information about what's going on with us is our website, the Real Estate Investor Con. We have a Facebook community free, and there's a ton of women with a ton of experience there that you can join us. And we have an Investor Con coming up in North Carolina on June 23rd and 24th. 5 amazing keynotes led by Kim Kiyosaki and more than 20 sessions. Alana, I'm going to say we handpicked all those women that are coming. And it's so powerful. I'm not even kidding with you. They are multimillionaire people, but they're also living life on their own terms, right? So it doesn't matter how much they own in their portfolio, but they live different lives. They have children, or some of them live in different countries. They're living life on their own terms, and they're going to be sharing exclusive content during this conference, which will be a 2-day transformational event. It's far away from the traditional real estate conference. We're going to be talking and pushing the boundaries there. There are going to be tears, there are going to be laughs, there are going to be pissed off people, happy people, but we're going to have some deep, deep movements going on. Our goal is for you to connect with others deeply, and that connection will not end at the end of that event. That's the most important thing for us. That will continue after that. So we're going to curate how you're going to make those connections.
I have goosebumps, and I actually cannot wait to check it out myself and then share it with everyone. So thank you for sharing that. We'll definitely be keeping in touch, and so appreciate you and everything you're doing in this space.